Okay, blessings. Babylon, Polaris, North Star. Blessings. Greetings to you. We are Polaris, North Star consciousness. Yes, connecting to your Babylon, the Atlantis energies. Much of your Atlantean energies lives within, yes, the Babylonians, of course, as it become more third dimensional. The third dimension of the thorn of third dimension was it deepened itself right into the Earth's core. The emotions, the consciousness, a lot of your emotions, I know it sounds kind of strange, it does come from other animals, but a lot of it comes from insectoids. Insects might not seem like they are emotional, but a lot of you do have insectoid DNA, people just aren't aware of it, but it does activate a lot of emotions within the body. So it's like an activator. So yes, it might not show itself, but it does exist. There's a lot of things they're not showing themselves. Yeah, that's a little bit weird, but it works within the chakras. It basically opens you up. It also allows more of your soul to connect to your body, the insectoid connections, for you to function here. Now, obviously, you look up your DNA, it's like there's no insectoid in that, but it is, it's there. Let's just put it that way. It's and there in everyone. It plays a bit. It's a backbone of DNA. It's a backbone of reality. I mean, you see what insects do on this planet. So why not the human? What makes the human so different? It's not like you're yes out crawling around in the dirt, but you should have saw the early humans. But yes, even the imagination of how humans, well, some humans like live underground. Let's put it that way. That's very ant-like for a human. And some prefer underground. They say, oh, above ground's like, underground, that's all I want. So for Polaris energies, yes, we're here to give you just basically a different way of looking at things. It might not be the most popular. Yes, of course, humanity is bringing in a lot of Arcturian energies, but Arcturians are also very harsh teachers to a certain degree. What they want you to know more about yourself. They also help you unlock a lot of energies of this planet. It's yes, trusting your instincts basically, and be prepared for any type of inner awakening you can go through. Is basically having an open mind to a vast level, an open mind to a level where you just yes, you might see yourself as a giant, you might see yourself as a princess, because the belief systems here are so heavy out here on this planet. It's hard for souls to awaken. It's like, oh, I can't get a download, I can't see this and that. Just how is your belief system? Are you opening up to anything? It's like, yeah, I just said anything, but do you really mean it? Well, yes, of course, but you'd be surprised how humans have boundaries within themselves. You'll see more of that shift as you just see, and that's fine. But some feel like they're not opening up to a certain degree because, yes, they're not allowing, the new energies, the old belief systems to break down for new ones to come in. A new belief systems where people can fly, where you can walk through walls, and it really all comes down to the belief systems. It truly does. Yes, if humans can fly, obviously some have tried it and then it goes so very well, especially when the kids try, which isn't very good. So, because it's like, oh, I don't believe it, prove it. Well, most of the society is saying, we don't believe it, prove it. But they're not allowing the proving to occur. They shut it down before it happens. It's a form of witchcraft on humanity that they're not usually aware that they're synchronizing to. It's a major belief system. It's what the pharaohs. It's a pharaoh's belief system. Like, oh, I don't believe you, I'm not seeing it, so it keeps the wizardry hidden. Of course, using wizardry to keep you shut down. Obviously, the soul does not always want to awaken to its full capacity. Well, you can get there to a certain extent. Alien beings, angels, but it's not always meant for your timeline, obviously, too. Everyone has a certain. Even you get up, you go to work, you have children, and then now you see an angel everywhere. I mean, that can work for some people, but probably mostly not everyone. I just want to see the happy aliens, of course, and the weird ones are going to show up instead. So, of course, there's a lot of AI, but bionic beings also that people are connected to. Superhuman lifetimes. Well, yeah, some find cyborg entertainment or AI entertainment entertaining, not realizing some feel it, not all, that they had a lifetime there. Especially if you feel a good energy, obviously you definitely had a good lifetime there, but sometimes you don't, like, wow, I just don't like that movie. Well, you've probably been in that reality, and it's like, it didn't go so well. Earth 3000's here is like, and it's the Matrix, and yeah, there's a bunch of machines flying around. Greetings to you. We are the fifth dimension vibrations. Yes, we are. As you're figuring out what direction you want to go and what timeline do you want to heal. As 5D energies are connecting more to your chakra energies, basically activating you to take you into the next level of yourself. Basically, some of you are actually shedding, clearing out artificial intelligence energies. Sometimes you're shelling out, clearing out. I guess shelling out's another word for it. Clearing out lives of being like a either maybe not the nicest parent energy. And that's why some have been parents in their past, but then they have no kids in this lifetime. And they're very aggressive over certain like lovers and things like that. And they don't know why. Because it's that parent self. Especially when they're with a lover and they're kind of like acting like a parent there. Or not maybe not overprotective, but they just have a certain philosophy that's very strange. And they're actually learning how to let go of that side of themselves. Sometimes you need like something that used to be like a daughter that's very close to you to help you. I know it sounds all strange, but that's why I call it love. That's why I have all these. Your dad used to be a lover from another lifetime, and now he's your son, and things like that. It's all. Yeah, it gets a little bit confusing. Obviously, they do it on the other worlds. It's a little bit easier. On this world, obviously, it becomes very unusual, to say the least. There's a lot of deep healing as the Earth human is doing, of course. And your society will eventually recognize these things eventually. And yeah, your world always has to have a way of complaining about something or sorting out problems collectively, which is not necessarily a bad thing. The way it goes about it's not always the best, but of course it's coming from an era of, well, you're going into a time frame of kind of like a Martin Luther King era of basically chiseling out the old world and allowing this new era to come in. That's what you're currently working on at this time. Might not show itself clearly, but you're kind of going into that phase of having a revolution. But the spiritual revolution is a non-violent revolution where these type of conversations of strangeness, especially those that feel like yes, they've been Nefertiti in a past life, they feel like they've been Ra in a past life, a lot of that become more clear. See parallel Earths a little bit more clearly. And so right now you're in third dimension, fourth dimensional energies, sometimes two dimensional, depending on the person. Then you go into more 4 and 5D, even 6D energies, where all those realities are kind of shifting among each other. Now, you're already having that. Some people are already connected to higher dimensions already, sometimes 12, sometimes higher than that. And that's where it gets a little bit confusing, too. But you need each other you need everyone here to basically synchronize everyone together. Especially if you're a 12th dimensional person, you have all this knowledge and it's like, no, wait, we're not ready for that. We need the vibration from you, but we don't necessarily need all that knowledge. We're not quite ready for those energy fields. It's just, being a third dimensional being has many perks, you can say, of not knowing anything. It is very good at holding back, at least on this planet. It's very good at holding on old vibrations and not shifting more to higher. I mean, it does in its own way, by basically being a little bit more positive than it was last year or a few minutes ago. It's basically having a more positive outlook. It's just so used to not looking in the positive deeply. It does to a certain extent, but it has worries, third dimensional problems. Obviously, when you let go of those problems, you are connecting more to the fourth dimension. And some of you are asking have many alien lifetimes in the future, and others of you have a third dimensional life. Now, realize this. Those that are going into like the 12th, like, hey, I'm high vibrational being. I haven't exactly lived the easiest life here. Some going through abuse, through mental, physical, whatever it might be. But you feel like the high vibrational being, energy, is like, you know what? I'm going to incarnate here again. Because the earth needs my energy. Obviously, it's not for everyone. But some feel like, yeah, I'm probably going to come back here. Never, besides the complaints. Because every era of awakening is a big deal. This is a big deal. Might not be the most exciting, but this is a big deal. Because you're the forefathers of the new vibrations of reality that's coming in. And, history is not obviously writing itself down. I mean, you are a part of history at this time, but more of that will come. Whatever it will show in the future. So many of you incarnate here. It's like, if I stop my incarnations now, I can't help the earth descend. I know it sounds a little bit strange for some of you. Some will know, because you'll know your impact before you even incarnate. Obviously, that's up to you. It's always up to the person. But some do feel it's like, if my energy is part of this earth, we can't get closer to more of a different type of earth. An earth that knows more of itself. Of course, does the earth want that? Greens, we are the Orion group. Yes, there's a lot of discernment, understanding of different realities, different shape-shifting realms. Yes, the Earth consciousness as we go more into the fourth dimension or fifth dimension or sixth dimension or all, but there are some people going into the 24th dimension. And some are going into toward the 24th dimension basically to be an energy field, a phenomenon, a parallel reality, a stargate. Consciousness of a stargate, which is very powerful. You can be a stargate and be a being at the same time. You can be two separate entities that are connected. So you could be a being on a planet and a stargate. And of course, somehow you always know where that stargate is. And some beings are able to open up their own stargates, and you'll see more a part of your planet. So yes, there's ninth dimensional energies for your disclosure energy. And yes, it comes through the human of how to unlock yourself. Many of you here are actually incarnate here just to unlock humanity. You might not always see a lot through your third eye and energies around you. You might not be able to see cat people, frog people, whatever it might be. You're just here to unlock slowly. Basically, channeled vibrational energies. You just don't know where the information is coming. Basically, an automatic downloader at certain times, at certain places. It's not always pretty either. Some of you are unlocking Earth's energies, Mother Earth's vibration, with some of the choices she made. Yeah, she's connected to Saturn, Pluto, Neptune, of course, all the planets. But is that she has sometimes, you can say, conversations, arguments. They don't always agree on everything. They are protecting Mother Earth overall. Basically, the species is very important, of course. We are taking you to the next level of third dimension. At the time in third dimension, we don't have to have this mystery here, the locks on their reality, here to unlock them slowly. You'll see more of that come through throughout your incarnation. For some will definitely feel it. especially have certain events occur. That means an unlocking pattern. Right now, you're going through a rearrangement pattern for new knowledge to come in. It's like you're shifting your vibration chakras on your earth so new knowledge can be brought into your earth. The fourth dimension can download easier onto your planet. That's why some of you have difficulties with downloads because you're, of course, being blocked. It's not always time for those timelines either. So, and yes, some do connect to a easier timeline, but they can also be very isolating itself. Like things happen to you very easily, things just come easily for you in life, but there's like all style, no substance. So when you go through a lot of difficulties, you push through, you push through hard times, and then you finally find success. That shows major soul growth there. So meaning that you can be successful and have very little soul growth. And some of these are spiritual teachers here. They might be teaching you their knowledge, but they're not always learning something for themselves. They might to a certain degree, it all depends. But it doesn't mean they're always learning. They might say they are, but in their reality they are, but that's not always the case. Sometimes the students learn more than they do. But they're here to open up that door for the knowledge to come through, like a vessel. Here's your downloads. Here's this other reality I'm aware of. And then they have another incarnation where they have to grow. So, blessings. Greetings, we are from Spirit. So you go into the 12th dimension, 9th dimension, 1000th dimension. There are so many different dimensions of the soul progress. As you get to the higher dimensions, yes, you don't learn as quickly, but there is a level of experience, especially with your planets, your reality. Basically, you can see all the higher dimensions. Of course, you see all the molecules, see like the cell tissue, just basically creating the cell, being part of God's energy as cells are being created. Also, be able to manipulate and form it into a certain way. For creation, for you have the cat, you have the dog you created, or different types of dogs. But basically, the God energy, yes, it's kind of like it's just there. It just creates. It's just there. And it comes out of creativity like it would come out of your own creativity. But this is much different. Yes, it comes out of nothing. So there are gods that create cats, there's gods that create dogs, and so forth. Yes, you can say you're God beings also, but yes, you're in the third dimension. But yes, you can look at it as you as a God being also, what you will create. But basically, because all incarnations, like fourth dimension, you're just a fourth dimensional being. Of course, you are a God being, yes, but you're still living a fourth dimensional, third dimensional experience. But when you're at a God dimensional realm, yes, you're a part of all these different types of creations. You're a form of it, your experience of it. Some beings want to create just objects and then have them be a species itself, which is a little bit hard. You've probably seen this in some type of animation, like box people. You see robots, yes, chair realities, and so forth. Why not? Why not go beyond the human element? Those are the higher dimensions. Even some of you have done psychedelics. You've seen, clocks talk to you. Different environments have, consciousness. Yes, and they are alive. I mean, you can just have a chair come back to life because they love you so much. They can put their arms around you and hold you there. Obviously, that's the extreme, but to give you a different aspect. So when you go into these higher dimensional realms as you are going into, you might not fully understand all these realms at the fourth dimensional level, but at least you can tap into and experience it from a third and fourth dimensional vibration. Not worry about the news, not worry about what you're wearing. The world, the society becomes more happier with itself, less controlled. And you're just always looking for something new to tap into, to see, to expand, to grow. That's the higher dimensions. That's what you're here to build in this reality. always going forward. Obviously, it's a test to go backwards, and there's nothing wrong with that. But obviously, for this world, it can use a break, but it's all on how you perceive it. Yes, it's kind of like a paradox planet where souls just get lost. They go backwards, hard to go forwards. Well, they think they're going forward, and they might be, but very, very slowly. Like it takes them 10 years to evolve. A little bit. Well, another 10 years to evolve. A little bit. And next thing another 80. But at least they're evolving in those little ways, whatever it might be. Everybody learns differently, as you can see. And sometimes in the higher dimensions, souls need, when they get here, they want to go slow. Some. Others are just, it's like there are lessons here, but do I need to learn them? I can just be a better person. Obviously, you have lifetimes to expand your personality, to be a better comedian, whatever you want. That's what these incarnations are all about. It's about developing your character, sense of character. And of course, there's much more to it than that. Greece, we are the Arcturians. But you're always planning out your lifetimes. So think of when you say like when you're first created, you're always mapping out a timeline of growth. So you always have some kind of timeline of your what you want to achieve, where you want to improve. So it just comes automatically. Now, obviously, it's not something that might after creation you just all of a sudden want to improve yourself. But then again, you'd be surprised. This is reincarnating is another way of basically strengthening the soul. So with each incarnation, you're adding and deleting from your future, basically. Even clearing out timelines of your past, they still exist, but you're clearing out the energies so they don't interfere with you in your future, because many of them do. Especially when you have a lot of Earth incarnations, as you know, incarnate on Earth, and a lot of things come back, and there's a lot of good, and there's a lot of things you don't need. So your next lifetime is always in the way. So basically, you can have 10, 14, 20 lifetimes in the future that you're already working on. Of course, obviously, if you think about non-linear time, you're already living those lifetimes as you speak. And there's also lifetimes as there's versions of you that are already experiencing those timelines just as soon as you think about it. So we'll win or lose on that. So basically, you're always expanding, growing. It's like as soon as you think about having a lifetime, you're already incarnating that second. That might be a little bit quick for some, but be surprised. All depends on the reality that you're tapping into. So as you shift from third dimension into fourth, to become more, utilize more awareness. And as you go into more fourth dimensional here, you become more aware of future lifetimes. It's like, wow, I just saw a future lifetime that I'm developing in astral and in spirit. So it is a utilization of basically different types of realities, mirrored realities that you want to explore. Sometimes you have lifetimes in deeper parts of the universe or other universes and come back to bring that knowledge here for Earth or a incarnation in this universe. So yeah, you leave new universes and then you come back. Obviously, we're using time for that, but there's nothing wrong with that either. Well, some do live in non-linear time, and some live with time in some form or another. So, I mean, what fun is it in certain experiences of having no time? But you take the fun out of everything. And some feel like some beings do have a God complex. Not all, but a lot do. Some beings prefer no time at all, and some beings prefer it. So it all depends on how you look at it. The non-time is like there's no, even if you live in an environment where there is time, you're experiencing an experience. Even if you have things pretty much figured out in life, you're still being tested. just with that, you say you have everything you want, abundance, and from all different directions. And so there's, yeah, I believe some of you understand what we're getting at. Greetings, we are from Spirit. The reason for war is, of course, many reasons. A lot of it is for selfish reasons. A lot of it is, yes, to get gold, money, but mostly gold, wealth. There's different types of. Also, there's a way of siphoning the energy from other people to bring in oneself, to make yourself into a god. So the war energies, yes, is selfish mostly on this planet, but is also another different aliens incarnate like through Julius Caesar and all these different individuals of your past is to learn from your society, program your society, and bring something new to it. Genghis Khan changed things greatly. That's not exactly a peaceful person overall, but there is positive and negative to it. Well, some alien beings feel like the only way to do it is through war. And as you see how your environment works, war does work well with progress. So war is actually a progressive. It's actually bring progress, but not always. There are sometimes when it depends on what's behind it. If it's there to help elevate you, you will see the change usually instantly, or at least in the 10 years after the war. Or if it's just deceit and lies, the lies don't always come out as you have noticed, but rumors of it does. And it doesn't mean the whole truth is going to be fully revealed just yet. Well, does humanity want to know? Because the reason why a lot of truth doesn't come out about war, because that's the test that humanity agreed upon. How can you know the answer to why this war happened if you agreed upon learning that lesson behind it? Some might tell the truth about it and you put your rumors out there, but is most people going to agree on that? It's, so they end up enslaved even more. Depends. The idea is to clear out paranoia to allow your true self to come through in a harmonic way. Yes, you're all sound in the long run. You're all just, yes, geniuses. You might not always see it that way, but it is true. It just you work different in different environments. Some of you incarnated here. Why some of you reincarnated here so many times is because it's like you work well with the place. And if you have trouble here, like people learn from you, souls develop differently. It has a positive and negative, but many can actually go further than they realize. And you can develop advance, and you might not, many don't really show how advanced they're becoming. Some do, many don't, because some want to show it off and all these things. But that's not necessarily why your growth is there. Obviously, for showing off, probably not the best idea because you grow it and you hide it. It's like when people make money, they just bury it. So you grow and you hide it. You grow and you hide it. Now, you might use some of that eventually to change your life and to shift you into a different vibration, possibly even through that lifetime. Meaning all of a sudden you become famous or something for inventing something, whatever it might be. And before you're just a everyday Joe, it all depends. So, and the reason for fame, mostly just to change lives. Obviously, the elites have used it differently to shut things down, to control people. But really, it is I have this idea, people want it, and they make it famous so they can give it to as many people as possible. It's not really about the money. I mean, here, yes, money is everywhere, but it really comes about the soul growth and development that comes into it. It's just money here, yes, is there to slow things down. And yes, money is here to actually keep the ascension very, very slow. So, but for now. Some of you have been the energy of money. That's why you understand money. You've been digital currencies. You've been paper money, consciousness. You've been the trees that turn into. Some people have been trees that have been turned into money. Obviously, you're going to have trouble with money. Waste the physical side. That's why some are. You'd be surprised how many would rather the digital currencies. That's not hurting anybody. Well, of course, there's different ways of looking at that also because of pollution from the computers and all that causing difficulties for the planet, and so on and so forth. That has not been fully mentioned. But yes, you're doing a deep dive into your consciousness. That's why you're here. You're here to analyze yourself, improve yourselves, of course. Some people are here to learn. You're here to better yourself in a way that you don't have to advertise to the world. You can tell everybody, I'm not here to learn anything. You're actually learning a great deal. You're not here to reveal it. And that's why others don't tell you what you're here to learn, because they can give you ideas and things like that to help you on your way, but it's normally very deep and never fully explained. Greetings, we are the Arcturians. You are always shifting into a new environment. You're actually going to your ancient ancestors and releasing a lot of blockages so you can go forward. As yes, the ancestors that slow things down. You're some of your ancestors, yes, you think you're hard-headed in this reality, you might want to think again. So you're going into a lighter vibration. So of course the Earth is going to have a lot of lighter vibrational beings. Some of them are going to have ideas that are kind of crazy. And also see the future that is nowhere will exist. Imaginations that are completely insane. So yes, this world is known to go backwards. Basically, yes, a backwards planet. But it's done on purpose for that. Yes, you give them all the nice toys, all the higher vibrational technologies, and everything known to man, and then it throws it all away. But that was kind of the point. Was to take all this technology and be a very advanced world that descends itself. Maybe even into hell, maybe into its own destruction. That was the point. For it to still be here is saying a lot. Every day for it to be here. It's always pushing backwards, as you can see. Now, you can call that manipulation all you want. There are beings here, humans here, it's like, manipulate the hell out of us, please. And there's a side, and that's how you challenge the soul. Every soul has that. Now, you have had a contract with that, so of course it's difficult to break out of that contract instantly. So some of you are turning into a wording tool, basically, so how to improve yourself. But it says a lot. Others just say, give me more drama. Not that there's anything wrong with that. So the May 8th, it shows you that there are people in this world that are like time travelers, or they've been given a lot of responsibility where they can say one word and everybody just, it's like they're like a walking marketing tool where everything changes. Say one word, they can buy something, all of a sudden everybody wants it. It's almost like the Kardashians, but in a different type of tone. Where, yeah, just some people are here, and there's many, that are in a celebrity status. They're here to, that's a real, now they're not just put in that position just for anything. It's, because they're fitting an agenda. And that, yes, to keep the eyes closed as you shift into your vibrations, but it does not mean that some of you that are shifting the vibrations can't get in those positions either, if you want it at all. But yes, humanity needs these type of people that say one thing, everybody runs to it. They go to the store, everybody runs to that store. They sell something, everybody wants to buy it. You're shifting that energy for it. It's kind of like a herd mentality to a certain extent. But that shows you what the program is. That shows you the beacon. The beacon of your reality goes through a person, that type of person, and what can be healed of it. Now, not that you have to go to that person here, but heal the reality manipulation and understand the manipulations of where it's coming from. Now, how is that person doing this? They agree in astral. Some of them have sold their souls, and you can tell, especially the black magic they do, they're here to program reality. Almost like marketing puppets. You have your government puppets, you have your media puppets. So, and you'll see how much they've sold themselves. It's like somebody has to do it. If we don't get you, we'll get somebody else. So, and some do want to make a change too. Some can bring positivity through all the darkness that they're involved with. So basically, the matrix works through people. especially those people that are creating agendas. They say one thing, people buy it, or people as headlines everywhere. So it's like no matter what they do, it's like printing money. So it shows you how reality is working through that person. It's almost like a scarecrow to a certain extent, but it's like a beacon. You call it a scarecrow only because it is running your reality and it does kind of push people away from themselves. They have to go to the idea systems, the selling points, the places, do this, do that, as I say. But it's as you see more of these people, where they come from, is there even a soul there? They're keeping your reality going. They say all these aliens don't exist. Of course, they're going to say that. It's like another branch of the government, basically. Greetings, we are the reptilians. Yeah, this is a lot of self-healing this world is trying to do. Our humans don't always want to heal themselves. Sometimes they want to make themselves worse. There's a timeline where humans just want to deprave themselves, to turn themselves into monsters, animals, creatures, even live the Matrix life. It is like becoming human and living the normal, what you call normal here, is like going grocery shopping. And the soul, as you know, many like to go grocery shopping. So it's the soul's grocery shopping that's going on inside your matrix reality. Uh, yes, I mean you shop at the same store, you buy the same stuff. You change with the trends, but don't really evolve or do anything other than that. You do evolve in a certain way, of course. You're always learning something, of course you are. But it's time. The world itself says, "I'm going to change that. I'm going to change my store. I'm going to change my design. And I've had enough of it." And there's a contract with it. It's like, enjoy, have fun. And now it's a pink store instead of a blue store. No longer has the same items inside, but people still hold on to it. It's like, it's almost like the owner says, get out of my store, go somewhere else. So the planet itself is asking for souls to get lost. It's like, you're holding down my energy. Some of you are going to have trouble with this one. It's time to move on. Now, some souls, if you want to evolve with it, that's different. But some want to keep things the same. It's like, no, I'm changing. I can't stay that way. And then that's where war breaks out. And that's when genocide happens and so forth. Obviously, you can take that any way you want to. But a lot of the genocide that happens on your world has to do with just change. And some places want to change maybe too much. That's why they're starving their people. And there's a lot of details that we're not going to, not really worth going into. Like North Korea, they do atrocities, but then they kind of make themselves look good. Of course, also, yes, humanity still has the water system you have to work on. Yeah, the air, the clothes, and all. Yeah, so that is very true. Also, you're going deeper into the human consciousness. So with this, you eventually won't need clothes. Obviously, you're not quite there yet, but there will be a time when humans would much rather be in the nude than in clothes. That's going to be interesting. I mean, people are looking in the higher dimensions. They're not always realizing what brings that in. Can I wear this cloth? Yeah. Can I wear the light clothes? Yeah, you can wear light clothes. That's okay. As long as they're on lower vibration, you're fine. Expect the earth to shift into an energy where it's light. It's you become light. And clothing becomes optional. And then clothing is like, what the hell we even need that for? Obviously, to be high vibrational clothing, but what you would call clothing is actually quite heavy. So, So karmic energies, of course, those that cause difficulties here that are part of genocide. First off, they agreed to it with the earth and humanity, the universe. And there's like contracts made up. So how that person deals with that karma. Like compromises, you can say. And where some are happy, not everyone's happy, but that's why when someone's not happy and you're going through your karma and all of a sudden your karma gets worse. Because someone's like, you know what, he needs to suffer some more. And that's after the lifetime of causing, as a warlord or genocidal maniac. So yeah, it is. It is like ants. Humans are. It's like ant colony. You're clearing out the ant colony for a new energy, for a new place, and that's what happens to the Earth. It's just that you have human lives that go through that type of environment. And it's not fun, as you can see. And you're going into a whole new environment. We are a star system. We are the mirror-sized star system. For letting things go, find peace within yourself. Yes, where you can relax and connect to your higher being and just have knowledge. Knowledge that you choose to have. But you don't have the blockages of your reality. But of course, no reality is perfect. For our star system, there's still a lot to learn. And yes, your planet finds a way of, going deeper into the soul. Our world has ways of basically healing the soul, especially with traumas, mental illness. From many star systems have been designed to heal the soul from this world, especially souls that have been trapped in this reincarnation cycle here. So you can connect more to our energy field. You feel just a healing energy to basically connect to who you are deep inside. And of course, yes, many of you have countless lessons at once. And yes, it's challenging the soul to push like an old version of yourself for a new version to come through. And in other star systems are basically you can explore yourself on a different level without having to be too pressured, but there's still going to be pressures, but not as much as this planet. So the checkered board of this reality, the matrix of it, is how thick can it be here? How intense? How insane? That's why you incarnated here, of course, to truly push your buttons, to truly take you out of your comfort zone and put you in a place. Because many are in their comfort zones and they get stuck here. That's one of the reasons why you have war, to move you forward. That's why you have health difficulties on a global scale. And you are allowing much of the sixth dimension to tap into your energy fields. Of course, there are Anunnaki beings here that are causing a lot of difficulties, but because they are what they see, they are protecting your world. So how deep you want to go into your consciousness? How much do you want to know yourselves? That's why you are here. Now, you might not have a full indication of why or who, what this is all about. It's not necessarily intended to have all the answers here, but basically, yes, you are pulling out what is necessary. It's like you pull out your emotional internal survival skills, especially those that cannot find a job. Some of them are either who cares about the job, I'll find some other way, may create friends and just find happiness instead. Which we imagine many would like to quit their job actually and find happiness. Sleep for a week, or for some a month, or for some a year. And basically spend your time exercising and getting better. that would be the 6-month rule. Exercise, get better, and then explore yourself. It's like, okay, I'm exercising pretty decent health now. I feel really good, which is excellent. And now I need to know about myself. And some are going to indulge, yes, with sexual rituals or whatever it might be that they need to go through. So basically, what we are saying is what you are bringing possibilities, future timelines, where this Earth system, of course, is always going to exist a certain, because it's there to go backwards. Yes, it was designed to, battle, battle everybody. And of course, some are deeper in the battle, but some of you are going through great difficulties, your internal hell. You're here to bring out a new vibration altogether. I mean, you're going deeper into the inner workings of the planet. It's just not showing itself too clearly. And these are deep wounds. Now, some souls have had it so easy, so many incarnations, they have become blind. That is true. And you see them here. And you talk about people that are very blindsided to what's going on, tunnel vision. Some that have had everything work out for them, sometimes are the worst, as you know. That's Greetings to you. This is the Alpha Centauri restaurant astronaut. I guess it doesn't really matter. Energies to you. You're going as deeper into the human consciousness. What it's doing is also allowing third dimensional energies releasing from the program reality that you were in. Basically, it's like you're deleting the computer program. It's called belief systems. It's actually belief systems that are embedded in your DNA. Due to religion, media, and so forth, you'd be surprised how they can really have a control over society. So basically, eventually, humanity will fall clean. It's no longer being held down by manipulations. But in doing so, what does it do with itself? So you're going into that phase at this time. It might not be fully clear at this moment. You're going into a time where you have, yes, more power and more understanding of yourself and more freedom and what to do with it. It's going to be a difficult, even that is going to be a difficult time frame because so many are used to being programmed, being told what to do. It's just, you're just used to it. So you're going to a phase now, not just like everyone's going to be released from this program society, not at all. Many are actually caught, your timeline are built for. They don't know any other way. It's like it's a rope they have to hold on to get through life. And some of you can find other ways of breaking free. And you're going to bring new opportunities to other people also. Possibly create businesses. Yes, the money system's still going to exist in some form or another, but also change the business world altogether too. So yes, the new Earth is basically a new way of looking at things and for a lighter vibration. So those that are given power to change the world will lighten it up over time. So, and of course, not everyone's going to have those agendas. Others are going to have agendas control. That's a Martian vibration. And others. So it's basically as you go deeper into your consciousness of being free, not an easy freedom, as you can see. As Alpha Centauri beings, once again, we are just in the background. We bring fascination. I mean, we find your museums fascinating, your society fascinating, of course. Why would you need a museum? Is somebody trying to tell you what to think? And of course they are. They're going to a new whole different type of vibration where the third dimension is on its strongest energy as it once was. And so those of you that are going to a spiritual enlightenment, you don't have to be spiritually fully aware or it's just about your intention. basically free humanity from the control systems and allow people to find themselves. Sounds simple, but not easy to achieve. And also, of course, trusting yourself as you can change the vibrations around you. It's just a deep understanding of what you want to do to this world. But this world will not be the same anymore. So yeah, it's basically you're going to still use the same infrastructures that you have. They just make it better. Now there have been doing that before, but of course they have a lot of manipulations around. Not to say spiritual awakenings are not going to be completely clean either. Due to many factors. First off, humanity's used to it. And yeah, awakening is very tricky here, as you can see. Awakening to the fifth dimension is basically awakening to the fifth dimension, where all this physical, as fine as it is, no longer appeals to you. And that's when the astral energies come through. When you feel like your astral world is your real world, and this world is sort of this your something you have to put up with, you could say. Obviously, there's probably a better word of that, but some have actually had enough of this reality. We know who you are. And others are trying to adapt to it to heighten their vibrations. So those are trying to heighten their vibrations. What is your imagination telling you? What is your fantasy world? What does that look like? Because that's your real world. It's like, where do you see yourself? Some people see themselves winning the lottery. Well, what does that look like exactly? If you go to another planet, what would that look like? Don't be constrained here, because this world has a certain belief system. You want to be paying bills in your fantasy world? No. You want to win the lottery? You go to a vibration we don't have to pay bills. Oh, I see once. Greetings, we are the Sasquatch Collective. Yes, we mean no harm unto anyone. Yes, some of us do get aggravated, not by the human, but those that are the human that is poisoning the earth. So we are protectors of nature. This is why we don't always appear around you, because we are working with nature. We don't necessarily feel like we need to appear with the humans. But yes, some are tapping into our vibrations, do feel like we are, causing mischief to humans that are causing difficulties to nature. So yeah, our energies can tap into humans very easily. We know your intentions, we know everything that's going on, at least on a vibrational level. Basically your intentions. We don't know exactly what you're doing in your kitchen, or we just know that you're eating. It doesn't really matter. It's how you are connecting to the earth. So connecting to us is realizing you can allow your higher self energy. It is releasing the fear, because some want to connect with us, but they have actually an inner fear roaming around them. There's also Dogman, which technically Sasquatch is a version of a canine in some form. But many are so endowed into the Sasquatch because, yes, you've been part of our collective, but some have been there is a divide within the Sasquatch too, meaning they're positive and not so positive. And it's not always putting our information out there in a correct way, where we are being recognized, meaning to tap into our energies for us to, technically we can appear on your planet at any time, because there's so much confusion about who we are and what we're here to do. We don't feel like there's a necessary reason for it, but we do appear when we need to. We're just basically, you say, custodians of the earth. So we are kind of like soldiers, but not soldiers. We're keeping the earth healthy, and we know the man very well, so we communicate with Mother Earth's energy, and she communicates with us to how to heal humanity. So connecting with us to appear to, or for us to appear to you, is how are you connected to the earth? What do you feel with it? Are you turning yourself into a Sasquatch? That's another way of doing it. Just feeling that Sasquatch energy rise through you. Because a lot of alien encounters where some alien beings do change their form to connect to a certain species. Because Sasquatch, we're very protective of ourselves. So we see you as not that you have to dress up like a Bigfoot, but your energies of a Bigfoot. It's like, okay, I'm now a Bigfoot now. And now I can hear your voice. I can feel you. I can see you. We are part of each other. And you can, yes, sometimes feel the hurt of the earth, but also for humans to wake ourselves up. So we're very much we are another version of an alien encounter for humans. It's just we're more in nature. We don't have a spaceship. But yes, some of us do have ships, but we can basically just teleport where we want to. That's why you don't always see us. Yeah, so we shift through dimensions easily, as you've noticed. Blessings. Greetings to you. We are the Archons. So a quantum financial system, yes, is basically artificial intelligence. Is more, it is trying to become more part of your society. So it is using numbers. It is numbers. It's basically, and once a computer screen entered into your world, artificial intelligence was found on your world, or birth, at least in the physical. You can say artificial intelligence, even connected to your sun, and it's in another dimension basically, and it's another consciousness, as you know. It depends on if you want to be friendly with it, hate it, whatever it might be. Some of you are just like, I've had enough of this stuff. I'm gonna go sit out in nature forever. Even if nature is there to sometimes kill you, but some of you have a way of not letting that happen. And the same thing goes with. I know we're kind of jumping around a little bit, but same thing goes with, like, some of you just know AI is like there's killer robots everywhere, and you just go, "Hi, how's it going?" And they're like, they wave back, and they go kill everybody else but you. That's kind of like with some of you with nature. We just want to put that out there. So, not that you're going into that realm, but those dimensions do exist. And to go into that, yes, we're kind of going off into a whole nother world. But for some that are having difficulties here, and they see like artificial intelligence is dangerous, kill everybody, it is worth looking into your own self if you have a fear of technology, to feel like, yes, when you're eaten by a robot or something, or shot up or turned into one, or whatever it might be. It's another release. Not an easy one, and not one that's mentioned very often. Of course, in this title of this segment, nobody's gonna be looking for this here. But for it's basically artificial intelligence trying to find a way into your society. People are allowing it. Now there are different scenarios of it. So the quantum reality is basically, it wants to change your currency. So it's basically, think of it as a timeline trying to push itself into your reality. Most likely it won't happen, but there will be some phase of it, but most likely not on a global scale. But it shows that another timeline is trying to come in, and people are used to that timeline. Sometimes they see it as more positive, sometimes you see it more negative, whatever it might be. The quantum financial system is similar to artificial intelligence, where you want to bring that in, but do you want robots roaming the world around, or just have AI in the background and you do your own thing? It's kind of the same thing. It's just, this quantum financial is going to be in the background most part. It'll be around, but it won't be this global transformation. But there are other timelines where it's working sort of yes, sort of no. But your reality is going to a different direction, but it is taking pieces of it and making its own here. So there is some truth of it, but it doesn't mean you're going to go to full digital currency. Governments do not want that. China wants it, but they're not fully into it as they say they are. It's just someone trying to force, especially those that are in love with the cryptocurrency so they can make more money. But look at the intention. Are you trying to make more money? Um, that's okay, but do you have other things to do with your soul besides that? And some are artificial beings that are here to actually kind of bring some trouble here. Like some are really good at predicting cryptocurrencies, are not always have view for best interest. Like, aren't we better off just being numbers and digital energies? Who needs emotions? Who needs to look at ourselves? We'll just be, we'll just be wealthy digital people. It is an escape from oneself. Some don't want to see their own stuff. They want to be entertained by the quantum talk or anything to the news, anything that goes in the news, instead of discovering who they are. But discovering what you are is going to be more popular one day. It's like, wow, I was Christopher Columbus in another world. I was Jesus in another world. Isn't that more fascinating? And instead of relying on a prison society cryptocurrency that's going to basically seal you up and shut you down, well, it's good to explore other parts of yourself. Nothing wrong with crypto, but it's good to explore who else you are. You'll feel better in the long, because some aren't doing that. Some are shutting themselves down. As they do more of this cryptocurrency situation, their souls actually become colder and colder and colder. They don't always realize that. Blessings. Blessings. Greetings to you, this is Archangel Michael. Blessings to you. We're expecting higher self energies, but I came in instead. So to continue, yes, dictators of your planet. You'd be surprised how many angels have been mercenaries. Yeah, it's like, wow, my hero angel was horrible in that other world, other reality, or here for that matter. So this is the realization of what you're going into of, oh man, we didn't realize our angels have issues. But look how much they're helping us evolve. How do you think they can help you evolve if they have not explored their own darkness? A lot of the tests for the angel is to push them into places they're not comfortable with. But how do you become an angel to begin with? You go into your darkness, the deeper realms. It's necessary. It's part of you. You accept it. Now, some say there's no darkness or light. Well, on this world, it's easier to talk about it. It's just easier to describe it. You can call it. There's no light, or you can really get lost in all this. I can't. Of course. But basically, you're going deeper into the soul to unlock your soul from your own body, meaning so you can go out of body even easier, is what you're heading into. But it's also saying allowing your inner darkness to become more well known. It's not the easiest thing to see, but every time you think you're done, there's always more. And if you think you're done and you run into someone, oh, by the way, there's more. If you really want to know, you'll be led to it in a way of just unlocking yourself slowly. And everybody has issues. That's why you're here. But that's the point, not to put a label on anyone at all. It's bravery. Everybody here is brave, no matter who you are, no matter what place. Even if some of there are like presidents at this time that are completely criminal. Now, some of them will cease to exist, meaning that they don't really have a purpose anymore. Some do. A lot of them don't. Their purpose was to be a dictator president, and then that was it. Some can change it, some can't. Some want to evolve. But a lot of souls, if you're surprised, don't want to evolve anymore. It's like, I want to live on that note, no matter what it is. And that's the exit point of that soul. And there's no more incarnations after that. There might be spiritual connections, yes, but that's it for reincarnating. Or yes, or the soul just decides to exit altogether. But a lot of souls, yeah, they want to be known for that one thing. So it all depends. So as you go into basically many souls are trying to figure out who they want to do with themselves. It's one of the reasons why you incarnate here too. It's like everybody came here with all these problems. If you don't have problems, you create problems. Now, if you're ignoring your problems, you can be a problem to others, which is very normal. It's like I have no problems, and they're driving everybody crazy, and they're not ready to see it yet. That is very common. Not that you're not always cleansing, clean and all that, but some are just energy level is just toxic. It's like a toxic rain on others. A lot of them are parents. A lot of them are CEOs, but a lot of them are parents. And they don't always realize because I'm the parent, I have no problems. Even if they do have problems, they don't always want to recognize it and see it. That's why you have the kid to show it, to bring it out of you, to make you go crazy, to hopefully help you see yourself. Not to say that kid's perfect, but kids are there to help you see yourself more clearly. Blessings. Well, greetings. Before we go into this is deep within yourself. Hopefully, the quality of this is decent. We're always making improvements, or sometimes we're not doing any of those things, at least in video quality. But one of the reasons why I've been doing this type of format is even for my own channeling ability, going deeper into who I am, but also for educational reasons on a general level. So I don't always say it out loud what I'm trying to dive into. But that's, anyways, whoever gets this gets this. It gets this portion of the message because when I put this into the bigger video, sometimes I cut stuff out because of quality and stuff like that. So hopefully the quality is decent here from now on. I usually go backwards on quality, especially with this, but anyway. But yeah, it's just like, so those that are channeling, it's like a channeling exercise, like kind of like going bike riding or something like that. It's like going to the gym. This is technically what this is, basically, and going different routes, basically, give you more. It's like I'm trying to unlock something within myself, but also it's there to help others if possible. So it's just going within, basically. There's different ways of going about it, but yeah, it's not easy. Well, it's not always. There's no roadmap there. It's not always meant to be. There's not always a time for it either. So, all right, this is going deep within yourself. All right, blessings. Greetings to you. I am the higher self of Ivan and others, actually. So, yes, it is basically healing the inner child that's been damaged throughout lifetimes. Many of you do take dark lifetimes for purpose, like a army general or an army soldier or even a king. And sometimes it doesn't always have to be positive. Of course, when you're a king, it's usually a lot of karma, especially those battles. Like you said, yes, let's attack that person, and then the karma comes back to you. But that's bravery. That's how you develop your soul. The dark lifetimes through battle or anywhere or a dictator is really how you advance yourself. Some say going to higher dimensions and connecting to the positive light, and that's fine. But truly exploring one's darkness and that's why so many are having trouble with their darkness, releasing it. Well, they don't know the origins of it. So they kind of can, like, if you've been a criminal in your last life, or you'd be surprised how many policemen and women are incarnated now that are doing a lot of crimes that are actually really good in previous lifetimes, but they've been so screwed over. They don't care. They know how the system works too. Some actually make really good lawyers and can make criminal, sometimes positive, sometimes it all depends. It's basically allowing the soul to truly break itself apart from its traditional phase. Like if you've always been a positive being, it's like, okay, now I'm going to be a dictator. That's bravery. And to go through that type of karma, to cause just travesties, but also to come out of it. It's like, yeah, I might have done those things. And you don't have to publicize it to the world, especially when you start to discover that within yourself. But it's a personal situation. But yes, the more you own it, you live up to it. It's like, okay, I did those things. But I'm not that person anymore. You really give your soul breathing time, because people are so angry at themselves and don't always know. So those that are connected to higher dimensions and need to be at a positive light aren't always realizing, some of them are creating a lot of darkness for themselves and don't even realize it. They have no idea because they're so depressed being here. They just want to connect to the 12th dimension and be done with it. But not everyone's like that. Some people want to go to higher vibration, but no, they're not perfect here and all that. But others feel like, oh, if I'm in the 5D or 6D, everything's just going to be great. That's not always the case. And they know that, but still, meaning that some that are connected to the higher dimensions aren't always wanting to see their own darkness. Let's put it that way. They realize it if they see it, but they ignore it within themselves. Now, not everybody's like this, but quite a few, especially spiritual teachers. Like, I'm a spiritual teacher, I'm supposed to be this type of person. But if they're not always willing to, they'll help open up somebody else, so they won't open up themselves. They don't always know how to either. No one's teaching them. Of course, they'll find a way. If they want to do it, they can do it. If you want to heal, you will heal. It will take time. Yes, writing it down does help. I want to heal. I want to open myself up. I want to know the darkness was within. I want to see all of it and just be ready. And that's when you truly see yourself at a higher density. Being positive and in being like super dark is all part of this. It's what the soul is capable of. It's like going right and left, up and down. It's what you're capable of. Why not utilize it? Of course, when you do dictatorship, that's deep, but it does not mean that's the end of you. You can face up to the travesties of that lifetime. Yes, the queen is going to have her day one day. Maybe not on this world, but some of you are going to go to those worlds and see the queen go through her karma, and it's going to be fascinating. But she has a lot of karma here, not positive at all. She might say she does, but far from it. Now, she can redeem a lot of things by putting more positivity out there. Of course, she's sort of doing it, but not really. No, because the crown's doing a lot of darkness. It's like JFK. Just expose it. And then, of course, where that might turn into. But that will redeem a soul. It would really help you through a lot of things. And then you continue to expose darkness. That's huge. Blessings. Greetings, we are humans from the future. You're actually synchronizing your DNA, so you can be much different from now until then, until you transform into this new being. So some of you might feel DNA shifting. Obviously, it's not going to be quickly. It's very slow, especially those that are vegan energies, but not everybody has to be vegan because yes, it's true. Many that go through a lot of stress, usually the meat is better. Well, it just handles the stress energies. It just helps you sleep also, especially if you have a stressful lifetime. You're just eating a bunch of carrots. I guess it depends on the person, of course, but that doesn't always work for everyone. But colonizing Mars, once again, we are a future human collective. Colonizing Mars is a timeline that we do see colonizing Venus also, even at the same time. Obviously, that's still up in the air, but now the Venus energy might not be fully public, but by the way, we've been on Venus this whole time also. So there's a lot of projects have been done secretly. Mars has been probed quite a bit, even by its private companies, secretly. So you can go by what you feel on that. There's also a future way of looking at a human, like once again, DNA. It has lots to do with your food. So your food will actually have a lot of improvement, no matter what it is. If it's meat or grass, vegetarians type of situation. It's your as you shift your energies. Obviously, why humanity is going through the hell it's going through is to kind of just get rid of a lot of this stuff. Go through it just like all the hells of the past. It's like you're almost going backwards. It's like to resurface the nightmare and then slowly release it. As yes, you're going to have a world eventually with no problems. Obviously, you have some time for that, but that is pretty much where you're heading. It's kind of hard to see that at the moment, but you're actually bringing a lot of problems from the past. That's why I feel that dissension energy. Well, you're a different world. I mean, you have all these different types of technology. I mean, you're at a different phase of yourself. Look at it that way. Some are having difficulties deciphering what are we in all of this, but you are bringing in a new phase of reality altogether. The stepping stones of you and is even the skeleton structure is going to be even connecting to the bone will be. I mean, you are using calcium, but even that will be changed over time. So yes, you're going through a higher upgrade, a difficult one to realize, but you're in that phase at the next 10 years. We see the human evolving into a higher plane. You'll still have problems though, but you'll feel like you just open up your crown chakra and you're just seeing things more clear. Yes, many of you are taking your time opening up for obvious reasons. Oh, yes, what's the hurry? But also, humans aren't ready. But many of you can obviously upgrade to sixth and seventh dimension or higher very easily. But you're here to just slowly allow the energies of the Earth shift that was connects actually to the Earth's core. Blessings. Blessings.
Greetings, we are the consciousness of the universe. As you step more into yourself, you're allowing darkness to release, allow inner pain, allow the past. Past it's not easy to see. You'll connect more to your light as because recognizing your darkness recognizes your light, where you bring a balance. So basically, yes, it's a balancing of your chakras, your chakra self, yourself with the universe, so you can receive information as necessary for your growth. Obviously, you're not going to remember everything. You're not necessarily supposed to. But you're going to, the ladder of your life with each step appears as you are walking up. If you wish to walk up the ladder, some do stay at one place for a long time, or some go down, as you know. Well, because the next step might take some time. But to clear out one's past is knowing that there is a past to release, allowing that the information to come to you, the darkness within to let go. Now, there are some here that are like shysters, spiritual shysters, that know they can put hypnotism around others. They're like wizards. Yes, they're aware of their spiritual growth. They know how to manifest great power. And as long as they keep a blindfold over humanity, they keep their power. So they have to keep that mirage going. And many humans are, of course, pulled into it due to because they're not quite ready to focus on themselves in a deeper way. There's certain levels of some are just not ready for it. So they're taken to a different reality. Basically, it's kind of like the Pied Piper is taking you to a realm. It's like setting your destination up. Now, some of you are dismissing all these programs, they're dismissing all of them, and connecting more to yourself and becoming more trusting of yourself, which is very difficult. As you strengthen your abilities, you'll see more how sharp you truly are, especially how the felines connect to the earth. Basically, to ground humans into the earth's energy to help you make a decision for yourself. The canines do it to also, but the canines are actually more free. But you need because a lot of feline beings that actually control societies like here, don't do that. But the felines or the canines are here to say, no, let them make their decision. Because a lot of feline energy is like, we know what's best for you. And a lot of times they are right. It all depends on the group. They keep you out of harm's way, keep you out of being manipulated by different realities. But the canine energy is here to say, it's time for you to learn about yourselves. And it's time to make many mistakes. And canine energy basically says it's more of like a Syrian energy. So Assyrian vibrations, they've learned on their worlds how deep they can go into themselves by showing their darkness, and your world took it to a whole nother level. But they have worlds similar to yours also. They just don't speak about them very often. That's one of the reasons why they're here, to keep it elevated, to keep it going, but also to help it dive into where it needs to go. Many humans are born and developed into a controlled reality. There's always souls being created. So imagine being controlled into this world where it's already under dictatorship, you could say. So just like when you're born to a family that's controlling. But some of you have been born from other realities, you have a different point of view, but not everybody has that. The newer souls that are learning everybody's old, but the ones that don't really incarnate a whole lot need these type of lessons. They need to go through this. Yeah, do they know better? Oh, yes, but it's not always necessary to know better. Sometimes it's better just to go through it. More and more about yourselves. Like, yeah, you shouldn't be smoking, you shouldn't be doing drugs, if people do it anyway. Similar to this reality. They know they can probably be happier without these lessons on this planet, but is necessary for growth on so many different levels. It's not always going to be clear in your development. But many of you have experienced this already in previous lifetimes. Many of you have been dictators of worlds also. So another reason why some of you can break out of this control is because you've made controlled worlds like this. Some of you have. Greetings, we are your inner consciousness, your soul growth, your inner being, your manifestation, creation. Of course, you come here to blind yourselves of your own truth. Well, you are here to define your own truth. You're here to remove a lot of the old energies of yourself, the comfort zone, to truly take a razor blade to your soul and truly open it up. And the universe is learning lessons also. It's not just you. It is learning through you how to improve or how to make mistakes, whatever it might be, because the universe does make mistakes. So, who are you connected to in the universe? What ancestors are reincarnated on other planets? that you're assisting, that you are going through this as some of you are incarnating here to get your other ancestors out of trouble or guiding them. You're pulling in strength. Some of you are going through their karma here also. But of course, they're going to go through their own karma in their own way. But some of you actually pull in quite a bit of your ancestry karma, more than you might realize. Your UFO energies, basically, your future is knowing other planets, tapping into the energies, and knowing somebody is there. And that's going to become more commonplace on your world. Or even you can astral project. Eventually, there'll be a teleportation energy, but at first, it'll be astral projecting, which is very powerful, and you go deeper into the consciousness of other worlds. And this will be something that is, because obviously, this is not part of your conversation today now, is it? And basically, you can see other versions of yourself on other worlds, female, canine, whatever it might be, dolphin, whatever it needs to be seen. As you go deeper into basically, you're just opening up the window of your mind and looking to other realities. Instead of just the mundane conversation speak on your world. This is why some of you are avoiding others in your reality, in your physical reality, so you can keep these philosophies, ideal systems of other, so you can think more galactically, more of your true self. And you will eventually attract others that are similar to you. But first, you're defining who you are, your own meanings of words, your own way of looking at things, where the old world no longer exists. And yeah, everyone's going to have their own philosophy. They do now, but a deeper philosophy, not everybody. But quite a few will have a whole a whole different kind of library of ideas, a whole different vocabulary of how you want to see outside this world. You want to see alien beings. You want to see like what kind of clothes other alien beings are wearing and create them here in your own way. And so it makes it easier when they do connect with you in a physical form or astral form. Say, hey, look, not that you're wearing the same clothes, but I think you have the idea. It's just that you're connecting more to you. It's like you're pulling in yourself with these alien connections, as many of you are doing. Some of you, yes, are zeta energies, and yes, where food isn't so important anymore, and basically understanding the soul from an experimental level. These zetas are basically ones that just push their souls to the very limits, as you can see. Of course, there's a lot of other beings that do. The canines do it. The felines have done it. Where do you think the human came from? The felines are known to test the time, test realities, to push themselves to, what else can they do? Such as creating time travel. So, that idea, some of you are actually working on time travel. You might not always be aware of it, who is, but some of you, at least on an astral level. As we connect to your time traveling timelines, as Kennedy is still in existence, of course, in other realities. Some of you have been Kennedy in previous lifetimes. And in this new timeline that you're going into, basically the third dimension is dissipating, meaning that you're going to question your past. You're going to see alternative timelines become more clear. As many of you become more vocal of your alien existence, of your alien timelines, it's like, yeah, in your timeline, Kennedy died. In the timeline that I'm aware of, I'm seeing, I'm feeling, he lived. He might have been shot, but he lived through it, and so forth. And many more of those. You're already seeing it through the biblical timelines, and many more will come. It's going to get a little bit confusing. That's necessary. I mean, isn't the past quite confusing as it is? Because maybe you're connected to multiple timelines. Jesus is this, Jesus is that. And that's going to be more part of your society as you go forward. It doesn't mean that what you're connected to is wrong. It means that this is where your soul vibrates in that realm. So UFO energies, yeah, they connect to different timelines all the time. So you know what timeline you actually resonate with the most, where your truth comes from, where they don't shoot presidents. Hopefully that made sense. grease you. We're the fifth dimensional Earth. Some of you are already tapping into those vibrations. For 5D, basically, even your monetary system is not so important anymore. Basically, yes, knowing your truth, trusting yourself, knowing your truth and trusting yourself are main keys in your growth. You can think whatever anyone wants to think, by all means. The difference of opinion is very important for growth, because when you see someone else's point of view, you can learn something about yourself. So really understanding what your point of view is, because many don't even know what their point of view is, they're still trying to figure that out. And as you unravel, because everyone's a mystery, everyone's a mystery box. You'd be surprised how many, as you connect to each other more in several different ways, or any way actually, but those that are shut down from 5D knowledge, and they just know you, they just see you, they talk to you. Sometimes they can get a message to you that no one else can get to you. So it's just, obviously people are keeping, those that are opening more up to their spirituality is finding it difficult to be around other people. Quite understood, because it's like going into a jungle of energy of lost vibration. You're going through an abyss of confusion that they need to go through. Not that you're not going through it yourself, it's just you have a different version of it. But your idea systems are quite different than yours. Meaning you can't talk about alien spirituality, spirit guides and all that. They'll just try to shoot it down. But this is no different than religion, because people talk about religion and other religious people are knocking each other down. So it's no different. But as you're understanding more of yourself, not that you're better than anyone or anything else, just you're on a different level. Doesn't mean it's a better level, it's just a different level of consciousness, a different level of experience. And many of you are, yes, going to the non-physical earth, because, the physical earth, obviously, you just, either you've been here so many times that you're just tired of the place, or that you would just never enter the physical realm at all. There's a lot of that out there. That's one of the reasons why you're here, too. So just basically being open-minded to those that can bring information to you, no matter who they are. It's like, universe, bring me people that can help me learn about myself, and if I can give something back to them also in some form or another. Because, the human mindset here, as you know, is very, cornered. It only has a few slots of thinking. You can't really just go all the way. You can't just walk into a room and just, talk about all the alien energies that you're seeing around. Some of you see them, or what you feel. And, you can remove a lot of these problems. Of course, people need their problems for growth, but, you can also, it's basically kind of like walking into a room and do a psychic reading on people. Of course, if they're open to it, but a lot of people putting their vibration out there. It's like they're just putting out their energy and you're just picking up on it like a regular empath. But it's like, wow, I'm picking up all this static energy. What's going on with you? And say, oh, by the way, you give them advice if you have any, and they can give you advice also. So it's really an open the door of new conversations within each other that's been shut for such a long time. That's the new phase you're going into. Yes, heal the judgment, remove the judgment. You need each other to figure each other out. To heal the ego, because when you have a version of the ego, yes, because the ego is gasoline for yourself. It keeps you going. But when it comes to spiritual information, it's good to be open to everything. So anybody that comes up with anything, you can learn from them. It's like, oh, they came up with that. I don't want to talk to them because they came up with an idea that's actually pretty fascinating, but because they came up with it and you didn't. So that's the phase you're going into of, well, it's going to take some time. But a new phase of basically discovering yourselves on a new level. Kind of like, psychic bar. I mean, you don't have to use that word, but psychic store, psychic restaurant, psychic everything. Well, it's like
you walk into a place, these people, the waiter never knows you, and it's like, wow, it feels like you want this number or something like that. It feel like you would like this as an entree or something like that. Just for example, that would be fascinating, now, wouldn't it? When the world is a little bit more open, obviously some people are going to be really like, what is this? Why are you tapping into my energy like that? So yeah, there's a lot to learn, but when the world becomes more open, that type of knowledge would be pretty fascinating because then you can unlock more levels of yourself.